What is up, you guys? You're watching Sergio's Secret. Before I get started with today's video, I'd really appreciate it if you guys can give this video a thumbs up and the subscribe button. And without further ado, let's have a little conversation and a little chit chat. I've been doing like hauls and shopping vlogs, but I haven't really done a sit down video where I actually talk about like something a little bit more serious. So I decided today would be the day that I will talk about it. And today is a video on why luxury fashion is dead and it's not coming back anytime soon. And I'm just going to be listing a list of reasons why luxury fashion is not coming back the way it used to in 2020 and the years prior to that, and take it from somebody who used to sell, like from 2018 to 2020, I would sell $1 million plus worth of designer merchandise a year. So I actually do know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about these situations, and I have a lot of friends that work in all aspects in retail and in the fashion world, as far as like buyers, sales associates, store managers, and I do see like a lot of things behind the scenes. So this is like more of a point of view that you may not see from other YouTubers who are not in the industry or just giving them through a consumer standpoint. I actually do know a few things that happens behind the scenes, and it's actually quite crazy. So we're going to be listing some of my personal reasons and some of the obvious reasons. So the first one, why luxury fashion is dead and it's not coming back, is definitely the pricing of a lot of things. I'm gonna give you guys two examples just on how crazy the pricing of things are since 2020. So this Gucci Marmont crossbody used to retail $980 back in 2020, because I remember selling these to my customers. And this bag currently retails for $1,800 in the USA, which is absolutely ridiculous. Another example is this Chloe Marcy. This used to be $890. It used to be, I used to talk about this even in 2020. It used to be a great handbag, a great price point, a great luxury item, a first bag, you know, an XYZ type of bag. This bag now retails for $1,500. And it doesn't stop there. This is just nearly across the board in general. The pricing of these things has gone super crazy. And I feel like people just are fed up with the pricing. And me as a consumer who still consumes luxury fashion, I consume more discreet luxury fashion nowadays. I mean, I've always been like that. If you always watch my videos from the past, I've always been shopping the row since, you know, 2018. But I have always been more of a more discreet, but I've had my moments with logos and stuff. But I would say the first reason why people are done is just the pricing. It's ridiculous how greedy these corporations and how greedy these people are, that they can charge $800 for the exact same bag. I can see maybe the Gucci Marmont it being maybe $980 in 2020 and maybe pricing it, maybe I'll give them $1,350 or even $1,400, $400 more than what it was 5 years ago. I think that is a decent amount of money. $400 is good, but $800 for a bag that's no longer popular, that people don't even desire to have, is just, for me, ridiculous and just out of this world. And don't get me started on Chanel shoes. Chanel sneakers used to be like $950, now they're $1,550 and up. I mean, just ridiculous and embarrassing. And a lot of these brands, since they have higher prices, a lot of these end up going to second, third markdowns. Like, they do not even get sold. Like, I would say maybe certain designer handbag brands, they don't even get sold on the first markdown. They don't even get sold on the second markdown. They don't get sold until the third plus markdown. That's how crazy some of these price increases, that even though they're charging $4,000 for a bag, even when it hits that 60% mark, people are not buying it. So that goes to show you how insane a lot of these prices are. And if you were to go to the outlet, how much these items can get discounted a lot. When we're talking about like Saint Laurent, we're talking about Burberry, we're talking about Gucci, how you can literally get all these items for 70 to 80% off at the outlet compared to the retail. So it shows you kind of like how fast it can actually be selling these items. Second reason that I feel like luxury fashion is dead is just, I think people are just a realization. I think this is also with like TikTok and just people having more of a presence on social media. And I find like TikTok, for example, has really helped people find more of their niche audience. So let's say if I'm making content, it's more niche for a person, or somebody else talks about, let's say, mindful luxury or consume, like less consume luxury, or I love everything, you know, Dior. There's very niche, you know, TikTok accounts And so I find that as you kind of scroll TikTok, you get like a nice algorithm, and I'm using TikTok as an example. There's other platforms as well, but I think people are just finding out that you really don't need a lot of these items to define you. And take it from me, for somebody in the past, I felt like, you know, 9 times out of 10, I always had to have out everything designer when I stepped out the door. My bag had to be Dior, my shoes had to be Gucci, my belt had to be Versace, I had to have a Burberry shirt, I had to have a Burberry jacket, I had to have Celine sunglasses. I had to walk out with every single thing logoed out and branded out. And I find that that was like more like of an insecurity thing, and I think a lot of people did that. And I think as people are aging and people talk about these things on social media and having more honest conversations, and I think there's more channels that talk about this on YouTube than what there was in 2020 to 2022 or even 2024. There's more niche audiences across the board, which I think is a very beautiful thing. But I think we all kind of need to notice that a lot of these things don't necessarily define us as a person. I don't need to be wearing a Gucci belt to know that I'm a good person. I don't need to be wearing a Gucci belt to know that I have $500 to spend on something. So I think people are just realization that you really don't need a lot of these things. And these younger generation, like I'm 24, but I talk to people that are like younger than me, like 18 and 16 and 14, that are like family members, and they do not care about luxury fashion. They do not care. They prioritize their mental health. They prioritize wanting to travel, experiences a lot more than I was. I think I've had more prioritized in items, but they, like, younger people in my family are prioritizing more experiences and things like that. So it goes to show you that these new generation don't really care about luxury fashion. They don't care to have GG, and I think that's a beautiful thing to see across the board, that you don't need these things to define your worth. Number 3 is the reason why luxury fashion is dead. Is a lot of people don't like these big conglomerates. A lot of people do not like LVMH. A lot of people don't like the monopoly that, you know, even though you are buying Louis Vuitton, it's coming from the same place as Dior, it's coming from the same place as Bulgari, it's coming from the same place as Marc Jacobs, Loewe. It just all seems very fake, if you know what I mean. Like it's all the same thing if you really think about it. It's all owned by the same person, and it's just an illusion as in choice. So I feel like people are just over shopping from big conglomerates, and you're going to be seeing a shift in just fashion in general, where people are buying from more smaller brands, smaller houses, or even, let's say, like a big brand, let's say like a Demilier, by example, that may not be owned by a conglomerate but is a bigger brand than, you know, some of these smaller brands. But you're going to be seeing that people are reaching more towards that than towards people that mega corporations that only really value you as a dollar sign and to present to shareholders that they can increase their profits. So luxury fashion is dead because people don't like these large conglomerates that bully allegedly, or that bully allegedly, or they're just too powerful or too big. And, you know, sometimes the little people need to have a little bit more of a chance to shine. And so therefore, I think that's another reason why luxury fashion is dead. People don't want these big brands to win. And I know a lot of people in my personal life who don't even shop anything LVMH. If it's in Sephora, they will go into a department store, they will go into a smaller niche beauty brand, or they will go to Ulta and they will buy their items there just because it's an LVMH own. Not necessarily saying that's something that I do. I don't buy as much LVMH as I used to. I probably buy, out of every 20 to 25 items, maybe one thing is LVMH. Everything else is definitely from other brands that are not owned by conglomerates. But I know a lot of people that don't shop it just because it's LVMH. So I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on that down in the comment section. Do you shop based on a conglomerate or not? Number 4 is people just have found the reality of things as far as like finances. Like, does this really make sense? Should I get this, or should I get an experience? Should I do this? Should I do that? And I think that the opportunity cost is definitely not there, like 95% of the time. This goes back to saying, should I really buy this Louis Vuitton bag that's $3,000 for a billion-dollar company that doesn't care about me, that is making this for pennies on the dollar? Do I really want to spend my hard-earned money that I bust myself day after day and just buy myself this as a treat? Is it really worth it, or should I prioritize it as in something else? So I think people have definitely had their ears perked up, and they definitely, like I said, prioritize different things in their life that actually makes their life better. Maybe paying for Pilates classes, maybe eating healthier food, you know, maybe having a more reliable form of transportation, maybe a sense of security, maybe buying higher insurances. Like, you know, I think people just found the reality that the opportunity cost is just really not there 9 times out of 10. Number 5, and this is one that I really wanted to talk about because I've never seen nobody talk about this, is just the rude, and I'm not talking about everybody, because I am definitely an exception to this, because anybody who I've ever helped in person knows that I've always been nice, super sweet, patient, and attentive. But I know a lot of people, especially who works at these designer boutiques, who are very rude, very disgusting attitude, who says all these disgusting things about their customers, who go and shop and spend their hard-earned money, let's say on a $3,000 bag, a $2,000 jacket. Just the disgustingness behind the scenes that you see how these people act when, let's say, be honest, without an employee discount, without an employee sale, we wouldn't be able to buy any of this stuff. Let's just keep it all the way 195. Luxury retail employees would not be able to buy the things that they are selling if it was not for their employee discount, employee sales, etc. But just the disgusting attitude of these people, and I have seen this hand on hand when I go into stores, and I have seen people get ignored. I have been ignored myself. And just the certain entitlement of these employees, of this upper management. And I think people are just over this. Why would I go into a store where they're gonna treat me like, let's be honest, complete shit, when I can just go somewhere else, let's say Coach, say Tory Burch, and I'm gonna be treated really well with hospitality, treated a little bit better. I'm not saying that those things may not happen at those stores, but let's just keep it real. If I walk into a certain store, I'm gonna get the up and down treatment. And, you know, honestly, a lot of people are just over that. And even myself, if I go into a store at my grown age and I get negative energies, I will leave the store. I know some people do videos on TikTok where they say, oh my God, I had this horrible experience at Chanel, but look at the bag that I bought. Look at the shoes that I bought. You let them win at the end of the day. If I get treated like shit, I am not spending my hard-earned money. I don't care if it's the rarest thing, the cheapest thing, the thing that's on sale. I do not care. If I get treated like I don't have respect or I don't have dignity as a human being, and that's the thing, people just don't have empathy and compassion anymore, and this is just across with everybody. I just think that it is insane that people still go and spend their money. I got treated like shit here, but here's the haul what I bought. Like, that is insane to me. So I definitely do not at all my money there, but I think just the rudeness and disgusting attitude that I have heard in past jobs that I've had, or how ex-employees have treated people, is just purely disgusting. I'm not gonna get into detail, but you guys already know what I'm alluring to. So at least I could say that I was always nice and always sweet and always attentive, and I always went the extra mile for every single person, no matter if you bought something that was $50 or you bought something that was $10,000. That's just me, because that's just the type of person that I am. Number 6 is just gonna be the exclusivity of things. I think social media has definitely normalized a lot of Birkins. Let's just use that as an example, that Birkins are everywhere. Birkins are here, Birkins are there. I work in one of the most prestigious malls in the USA, and I don't even see a Birkin every single day in my shift. I walk around the whole store. I have friends that work at different boutiques and department stores. Sometimes I'll go spend a little 15-minute break and see what they have new, catch up, kiki with the girls. And these are very luxury stores, and I don't even see people have an Hermes Birkin. I don't even see a Birkin every single day. Maybe there's a Saturday where I may see 3 or 4, but if it's a random Tuesday or maybe even a random Friday, I may not see a Birkin or a Kelly. So I think the exclusivity of like making things kind of more special, I think social media has definitely taken that away, because you can get an experience of like an Hermes unboxing just at home. Just go on TikTok and put Hermes handbag unboxing, and you kind of feel like you're in there, especially the more intimate that the video is. Like if you wear the Ray-Ban stories or you have your phone, you kind of feel like you're kind of an illusion that you're kind of a part of that. So I feel like that exclusivity part kind of goes away. And that ties into number 7, why exclusivity doesn't really matter, is like the fakes. I know myself, I get TikTok videos all the time of AA replicas. I don't even search for that. That just pops up in my For You page, or even like on YouTube. There are like top-notch quality fakes. For 500 bucks, you can get a real deal looking Hermes Birkin for 500 bucks. So it kind of plays with the fakes and exclusivity, where it's kind of like all kind of like an illusion in a sense, where you know, it's all just kind of like an illusion of things, you know. So certain brands are better with the exclusivity than others. Some brands are harder to fake than others. It just kind of like really depends. But the exclusivity and fakes definitely has made luxury fashion a lot more dead, because, you know, I used to have a very strong opinion about people wearing fakes, and I used to judge people a lot. But I just learned that I don't really care. If you want to wear a fake and that makes you happy, it's not my money, it's not my credit score, it's not my business. I don't care. The only person you can control and the only person you should care in this world is yourself, and if you have children, your children. Other than that, you can't really control any other person. So if you want to wear a Goyard bag, if you want to wear a Hermes bag, a Gucci bag, a Blueberry bag, honestly, I don't care. If it makes you happy, if you like it, I love it. I do not care if people wear fake bags. I used to have such a stick up myself about that, but now I really just don't care. You can do whatever makes you te pega la gana. If it makes you happy, I don't care. And as far as exclusivity, I don't care if it's exclusive. Also, I think exclusivity kind of makes things in a bad way, where I see people that have Hermes Birkins, for example, that I know in real life, or just people that I just know in general, that just have it just for the status. So I'm just like, it doesn't really make you like a fashion enthusiast. It makes you kind of look like a poser. You only wear this because this is a $10,000 bag, not because you like Hermes. And same thing for the fakes. I know some friends that have fake Hermes Birkins that look to the T, that you're just wearing that for the exclusivity, not because you actually care about Hermes. So it all kind of plays in, kind of like a reflection between each other as far as exclusivity and fakes. But I always tell people, just do what makes you happy. I do not care. And I think if you care about what other person has, or if a person has a fake handbag, I think there's other issues in the world going on, like trafficking, like children being trafficked, maybe things going on in your community. Maybe go feed the homeless, maybe go check your oil change, maybe go call your grandma while she's still here on earth, maybe go check your cavities. There's other things to be worried about versus somebody having a fake bag. I just don't care. So that's like kind of my viewpoint on it. Number 8 is why luxury fashion is dead, is just the cost of the markup stuff. And then we're gonna be using Dior as the example of this. So when we found out that Dior canvas totes were made for like 60 bucks, I was flabbergasted, because I used to have a Dior book tote back in the day, and I remember paying $2,500, no, $2,500 plus tax. I think I remember I bought it on my 18th or 19th birthday. That bag is long gone because it's no longer my style. But just the finding out the markups of stuff, and even like in every industry, there's always going to be insane markups. This goes if you go to Home Depot, this goes if you go to a designer store, if you go to groceries. Some may have larger markups than others, but everything has a markup. I understand things need to have a markup so people can eat, people can have insurance, I understand that. But I think in fashion, it's just taken to a whole new level, where a $3,000 bag really costs $60 to make. And the problem is, for me, I necessarily wouldn't mind if the bag cost $60 to make, if I knew that the employees were living a livable wage and were living a very decent life, which in that case, what we saw last year with Dior wasn't necessarily the truth. A lot of people were in kind of like slave work conditions, allegedly, and it just puts me a bad mouth. And back to what I'm saying, people don't really like to support conglomerates because of activities like this. And this is not the first brand, nor the first time, nor the last time like things will happen. But I just think people just finding out the cost, the transparency, and like I said, just the open availability of information that's out there has definitely killed luxury fashion, because it's not an illusion. You kind of see, you know, luxury fashion used to be very blurry through a sense where you see the item, but you see the illusion of it. But now I think in 2025, clear as 2020 vision like I have, baby, you can definitely see right, the house is glass, throw a rock and it'll all shatter. So it definitely put like a bad taste in my mouth. And so when you find the real cost of things, and you see, and it's not even the cost of things, because I can understand that, but it's me, like the work conditioning and how a human being can treat another human being and not have any empathy and don't even care. At the end of the day, we're all gonna die, but you don't have any empathy for another human being. I think that's very sad. So I think that also has a play on it. And I think for me, I'm more like of an emotional person, so I kind of put my emotions sometimes when it comes to humanitarian things. And so just like the fact how these people were like living and being treated is just absolutely disgusting. And you know, I think when this came out, it definitely put a bad taste in my mouth for Dior and for LVMH in general, for just being quite honest. Number 9, why luxury fashion is dead. Playing musical chairs for these creative director roles. Okay, so as I'm recording this video, Burberry in less than 10 years will have went through 4 creative directors. Celine, different creative directors. Dior, different creative directors. For me, when I'm investing my money in a brand, I don't want it to change every few years. So now we had classic Burberry that was always classic. That did not need to get fixed. Burberry was fine how it was in 2018. Classic, traditional, maybe elevate it, give it a more of an update, maybe raise the price a little bit to compete with the other brands. Not a whole lot. So we had Christopher Bailey, Riccardo Tisci, Daniel Lee. Apparently Daniel Lee's leaving, so now it's gonna be another one. So 4 creative director roles in Burberry is absolutely insane and crazy. So, you know, now I have in these last few years that I've been in retail, I have witnessed the direction of all these 4 Burberrys, which are all 4 gonna be completely different. So it makes me hard to invest my money. Oh, I want to buy the classic when I know the font's going to be different. And you can say, oh, Sergio, it doesn't matter about the font. For me, it does. If I'm spending the money, I want the font, I want the design, I want the shopping bag. I want everything to stay the same for at least 10 years and then change it after 10 years. So musical chairs, I think people are fed up of, why am I spending my hard-earned money when there's a new creative director and that brand's not going to care about me even though I spent, you know, this, you know, okay, new creative director, we're changing the font, you don't matter anymore. All that stuff, to the garbage, to the side, to the outlet. We do not care about that anymore. And the last important part of why luxury fashion is dead, give this video a thumbs up, hit subscribe button if you guys agree or not. And I'm gonna do a video on why contemporary is going to be on the rise and why contemporary is going to be the new luxury, because it definitely is. And I'm so excited for this shifting change. Number 10 is just the quality of things, of these designer price points. Okay, so I'm gonna use this bag example that I have. It's the Versace La Medusa. This chain is plastic and the Medusa head is plastic. Versace uses a lot of plastic in their hardware. Why would I spend that when Demilier and Strathberry have way better hardware for like 1/6 of the price? For Versace to use plastic is embarrassing. I can see if you're Moschino because it's kind of like a quirky thing. But a legendary brand like Versace can't even spend an extra $15, $20 to buy that metal to make that chain. I know it's to make it less heavy, but really plastic. Where on one of those bags that I had the pink one before I got rid of it. It like all the plastic faded off and it started to become silver. It kind of looked like mixed metal for a hot minute. I just using plastic, that is crazy. I just think just the quality of just things are deteriorating in all aspects of life. That goes for cars, this goes for appliances, this goes for food, this goes for everything. But for fashion, how things are going down quality, and how I've bought some really bad quality stuff throughout the years, like Prada shoes, Chanel shoes, Prada bag. And then when you try to go to these manufacturers or to these brands saying, you know, I had this issue, they look at you crazy. They look like you're the wrong, or they charge you for fixing these items that you spend your hard-earned money, sweat, tears, blood in it. So I think I'm over it. So I'm so happy that luxury fashion is dead. I still love luxury fashion, but through a different lens and to brand new eyes and a different point of view as I'm getting more older. But I definitely don't see it how I was naive and how pretentious I was. I definitely see it through a different brand new point of view. So I would love to hear your thoughts and your opinions down below. What do you guys think of luxury fashion? Do you think it's dead? Do you think it will have a comeback? Do you think we'll ever go back to pre-COVID, like let's say like Gucci Marmont era? Do you think we'll have another era like that again, as crazy? I think eventually it will happen, but I think it's going to take a little bit longer. I think we're gonna be stuck in this probably for another 5 years like this, where it's more discreet, which I kind of like in a sense. But do you think luxury fashion is dead? Do you think not? And do you think contemporary is the new luxury fashion? I would love to hear it, because I think the new luxury is contemporary and also luxury in all aspects in your life. Like I said, filling those cavities, spending time with your grandma if you have to go book a flight, you know, eating quality food, time is everything. You know, I think those are more luxury than any material possession. So I would love to hear your thoughts and your opinions down below, because this is definitely a very interesting conversation. And yeah, I want to say thank you so much for watching this video. Again, give this video a thumbs up. I'll be putting all the marks that I put down in the description box, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Guys, sprinkle and take care.